Timmy Mitch is out in front. Timmy Mitch will start at 5. It took a minute, now it didn't let me run away. When they get hard in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how you win a play. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flame. I switch my style up, what's the money fire up? I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be on 5th place. On this one, they won't come back line. Who's up for the Bears? Who's
takes the white flag, 1 lap remaining here at the Rock. He is going to make his way up a turn 4 and come to the checkered flag. Hunter Peach wins the fast lane 175 at Rock.
Great lift from the back of the speed. There's Bumping into Vegas. Who's it going to be? Rescue John Parker around. It's going to be Ruiz winning the race.
Here out front, he is on third course, checkered flag waving, John Parker back in the win column. 2-3-4 for the final time. Nick Hapiak off of turn 4. Just a few more feet, and Nick Hapiak will be your champion for the 4th time in the NAOR DIS Cup Series.
This is the NAOR iRacing Series.
Welcome to Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol Motor Speedway for the NAOR Cup Series, race number 21 of the season. Tonight we have the third to last race of the season. We start that final 3-race stretch to the championship. Currently, Jonathan Parker on the top in the points by about 35 over Mark Kissenweather in second. And tonight, so far, he's on the pole tonight as they currently go. As the second round of qualifying currently underway. Tonight we'll have a lot of interesting racing. Anything could go down here tonight at Bristol, the short track, and I think a lot of stuff could happen tonight. What's your thoughts going tonight, Talon?
Yeah, it's kind of a little wild card year, not more luck based, but anything can happen. You get caught up in a wreck or such a short, fast racetrack, anything can really happen. It's kind of a wild card in the chase here.
Yeah, and especially next week going to Talladega, that's definitely going to be a wild card race. So coming to the last 3 races of the season, we have 2 wild card races. Like a lot could happen. So Jonathan Parker, his 35-point lead can diminish very quickly. So we gotta be careful tonight. He's gonna hopefully just go out. Hopefully for him, he just goes out and dominates tonight. That's what he's hoping for, and nothing bad happens tonight. But currently on the pole by 1/1000th of a second over Josh Adams so far.
Yeah, Josh Adams won at Myrtle Beach in the chase, so he has that short track win also. So he could be one to watch out for here tonight.
And also another thing tonight, a tire wear will be a big factor. Setting up, running the bottom, being careful in the top lane. It's kind of hard to pass. The top lane very great at defending passes from people trying on the bottom. So tires will definitely be a factor. But 35 stage 1 is set. Today is shooting at lap 75. So it's about 120 laps in the final stage where they'll have to save their tires, but they will have to make a pit stop in that final stage, about 10 laps short, 10-15 laps short in that final stage. So we can see a lot about differing strategies in that final stage, especially since tonight we don't have a single pit road like the normal iRacing official series run. They all run the bottom. They only have the one pit road. They have dual pit roads, but since we only have 14 cars here tonight, you only get the one front stretch pit road, so you don't lose as much time on pit road under green than what you would in an iRacing official race that we normally see. So that could open up an extra stop possibly if the tire really falls off really bad. You can maybe do an extra stop since it's a very short racetrack.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's some strategy here. And also, you never really know when the caution could come out at Bristol, so that could play put a wrench in everything. Also, Jonathan Barker wrapping up qualifying here, unless someone else goes quicker, will be pole position as qualifying is officially over. Last lap's coming in here.
As the final laps there, and no other driver on the racetrack. That will be, actually, we do have Giovanni Klein, the last driver coming off turn 4. He's going to get the wall, though, so that will have to be invalidated. So that will end qualifying. Jonathan Parker won last week, first win of the chase for him, and he's going to start it tonight on the pole position. So a great start for Jonathan Parker. Now you see the track was very rubbered in. Now it's going to be kind of fresh, so the track's going to be kind of ripping the tires apart. The track will be very grippy to start this race, but and also we did transition to nighttime, so this will definitely be a differently handling race car maybe. But while they grid up, let's take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's Coulter Cards Bristol 106 here tonight. As you just saw, Jonathan Parker with a 14.244. Piston on the pole, and Josh Adams only 1,000 slower puts it P number 2. P number 3 will be the 6 of Nick Hapiak, and P4 will be the 24 machine of Cole Snyder. Martin Kisselweather rounds out the top 5 in that 15 machine. He's got to do a little bit of work if he wants to try and gain that points deficit on Jonathan Parker. He'll start 5th tonight. Josh Arnold will start 6th in that 22 machine. Starting 7th with the 99 of Dylan Chappell. And then Giovanni Klein will start 8th in that 5 machine. Starting 9th will be the 17 of Zachary Meredith, and then Jose Ruiz will start 10th. Donnie Kite will start 11th in that 2 machine, and Nathan Lehman will start 14th in that start 12th in that 14 machine. Mike Cable will start 13th in that 71 machine. The last driver tonight will be the 13 of Michael Morgan. So a lot can happen tonight. Kind of a smaller field, so we'll have to see how aggressive these drivers get on points. I mean, Mark Kisselweather, he's going to want to hope to gain a lot of points on Jonathan Parker tonight, but it's definitely going to be tough with the smaller field tonight. But also next week will definitely be a big shake-up in everything. And so if he can just gain a little bit tonight and then just not stay out of trouble next week, and Parker gets in a little bit of trouble, Mark Kisselweather could have an opportunity to steal that championship away in that final race.
Yeah, all he has to do is really just stay close and either at the end at Kansas. I mean, you're within probably, I would say, 10 points. I mean, you have a good shot at Kansas. Kisselweather, he's been pretty good at the mile and a half track, so obviously Parker has it as well. But I mean, when it comes down to one race, anything can happen. But you just gotta stay with it, stay close, and be here at the end, really, at the championship and in the race.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be tough to beat Jonathan Parker. He's been dominant all season long. He's got so many wins on the season. Finally got that chase win he's been looking for last week. And tonight he's going to put it right back on the pole. He's hoping to try and go out there and dominate tonight once again. 200 laps tonight. Again, 35 laps in stage number 1, and the stage number 2 will end at lap 75. So pretty much around the same 35 laps per stage. While they pace under the caution, let's take a quick look at our weather for tonight's event here at Bristol. It's a pretty cool track temp, 75-degree track temp with 73 ambient temperature, clear skies, and a 4-mile-per-hour wind going between the south and southwest, and a 23% relative humidity. So we're gonna have a cool night here at Bristol on this April 4th at 8 o'clock at night. So while the pace car going to lead them down into 3 and 4, Jonathan Parker, Josh Adams on the front row for tonight. Get ready for race number 21 of the season, as this season starts to wind down closer to the end. But the pace car going to take that hard left turn down the banking at Bristol, and the Coulters Bristol 106 is underway.
Parker clears big time as they're single filing out here. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, top 5 all single file.
Steiner got clear, worked this one very quickly. Nice no look to the inside there of Nick Hapiak. Tried it as everyone's kind of in towards the middle of the racetrack. Everyone's just trying to get settled in now. Trying to not burn up their tires in this first 35 laps. This first 35 lap sprint's kind of short here in Bristol. So you don't really have to do too much shaving. You can't obviously go out there running top the whole time and it'll overheat you right front, but definitely not be super saving. Just kind of go out there and get it, but Jonathan Parker is kind of falling back a little bit, starting to save a little bit of those tires. Josh Adams all over his bumper out for the race lead. Just thinking about it, here comes Nick Hapiak moving to the outside as well. Single file out for now, but Cole Snyder trying to get under Dylan Chappell. But Dylan Chappell moves up to 4th. Here comes Nick Hapiak to the outside of Josh Adams. Hapiak going to use that outside lane to his advantage, trying to pick up some extra points. In my opinion, I think tonight, in this first stage, you probably go out there and try and get that lead as quick as possible, and move to the bottom, save a little bit of tire, and if they try and pass you, just rip that top lane. It's going to be very hard to pass here at Bristol. You have to have a big tire difference to really make it worth it on the bottom.
Hapiak clears on the top, so Adams falls on the 3rd. Here comes Dylan Chappell also onto the top side. So Adams sticking to the bottom lane, committed to saving that right front tire. We'll see that pays off in the longer run.
And also what I've seen a lot there in qualifying, the rear loves to kick out, so burn that right front up a little bit, but that right rear eventually, you know, on the gas a little bit too early, you can wear out that right rear tire as well down on the bottom. That will really make it, really make the handling really bad on the bottom. So you got to be careful. Don't want to run too low, too long. And just got to be careful getting back on the throttle. So far, Jonathan Parker leads, but Nick Hapiak trying to chase that gap back down.
As Adams qualified 2nd, down to 4th. We'll see what his tire saving do, like I mentioned. So he's really committed to run that bottom. So is Parker up in front. So we'll see if that tire range kicks in here. But most is single file throughout the rest of the field.
I think right now you just can't really run the top so far. It's Hapiak, you got clear for 2nd, and then just kind of start to fall back a little bit compared to Jonathan Parker. So the outside lane just not fully gripped up yet. Just gonna wait for that rubber to build in the racetrack. That will really eat up your tires very quickly with a clean racetrack. Dylan Chappell, he's making some good speed, but now Nick Hapiak goes up to block him, so he's gonna have to force Chappell down to the inside. Chappell's gonna have a little bit of dirty air behind there. John Parker's pulling away so far.
Yeah, so far we've only seen the outside really be the lane to be able to make the moves to go up front. We saw Hapiak and Chappell go to the outside of Adams and clear him. We'll see if the inside lane comes in at all.
You'll see if Adams starts to come back a little bit towards the tail end of the stage. Get rid of these cars in front of him. I think the outside lane, probably run a little bit on the bottom for about 10-15 laps, and you just kind of start to move to the top when you have to defend. Just a very short first stage. You don't have to worry about too much about tire wear, but the tires will start to come into play around lap 20-25. We'll start to see if Jonathan Parker really overheated his right rear down on the bottom. He starts to struggle for handling, and also same with Josh Adams, or if these guys up top, they've been running the top lane, their right mark really starts to hurt.
Because right now, most is single file throughout the field, halfway through stage 1 now. As a little bit of a battle here for round 6th place. Josh Arnold, Mark Kissenweather, 2nd in points, and Giovanni Klein in 8th right there.
Seems like another thing. Mark Kissenweather kind of doing what Josh Adams doing, just staying to the bottom, not trying to save his right front as much as possible. Kind of maybe just forfeiting those stage points, knowing he's kind of going back qualifying, just kind of stay on the bottom. Test his first 2 stages, both about 35 laps. Just get used to saving tires for that long of a time. It's a very big challenge to save your tires here at Bristol for a very long time.
Ooh,
Especially
it's
60
the wall.
laps. They got to save that at least that first set. If they want to split it half and half in that final stage, they have to save it at least 60 laps. So it's definitely a lot. It's definitely really tough to save it that long here at Bristol. No matter how much saving you do, just the load on the tires really starting to give away after about 45 to 50 laps. And it just really starts to fall off about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds.
Yeah,
So far, John
Josh
Barker
Adams.
dominating.
Josh Adams fell back to 5th. We saw Cole Center pass him on the outside lane. Here comes Josh Arnold now, closing on to the top 5 position.
And another thing that's helping Jonathan Parker right now is that Dylan Chappell getting held up by Nick Hapiak. Nick Hapiak just staying to the top. It's very hard to pass on the bottom, especially this early into a run without much tire wear on these tires yet. And so Chappell has been running the top lane as well. But Cole Steiner had a really big run there, cut a big arc there. Just gotta be careful doing that. That will easily overheat your right front. But he tried to the bottom. He actually got a little bit loose there. He got a little bit of oversteering there, getting a little bit too tight. But he's gonna get clear of his teammate of Dylan Chappell. As that team called the Dream Team, they all bring identical paint schemes tonight. But here comes Cole Steiner. He's gonna make it down to the bottom, and Nick Capiak gonna run the middle, try to pin him down a little bit. They're gonna lap lap car though.
3 wide.
That's gonna cause a big shuffle there. Get Snyder hold on to the bottom. This is slowing up big time. Slowing them up big time. That's gonna allow Josh Adams to come back in line here. Look, Josh Adams saved the tires that all this run so far. He's right up to this battle for second, but now it's kind of a roadblock in front of him. He can't find his way by, just has to wait for one of them to clear. Josh Arnold also coming back into it. Mark Kisselweather as well. So you start to see the guys who really saved their tires really early on starting to come back into play. Jonathan Parker did that, but he is just pulling away massively now. Josh Adams trying to find his way by. Mark Kisselweather goes to the bottom. So we got all these cars under blanket, 6 cars under blanket here for second. As Nick Capiak and Cole Steiner still side by side.
Ooh,
Snyder's
contact.
finally clear.
Kisselweather made contact with Adams. As Snyder gonna try to pull away here from this group of 5 behind.
And now Kisselweather tries to do the same thing Snyder just did on the bottom lane. Adams trying to find his way by, trying to follow
Kisselweather got it.
through now. So Hapiak running that top very early on, starting to get very tight now.
Adams
and
clears.
Adams starts to get clear, so those tires really falling off now. But 5 to go in stage number 1 here. Pain for Nick Hapiak, almost over. But Mark Kisselweather, great pace here
Here
late
he
in this
comes.
first stage. He's
To the
going
bottom.
inside of Cole Snyder.
This one has been
Mark
really good
Kisselweather.
late.
Yeah, he saved his tires very well, so if he gets that track position, which he will at the end of stage
Oh,
1.
he hit the wall hard.
What is going to know for Jonathan Parker? But yeah, hitting the wall there hard there, getting the wall up in turn 1. That's going to slow him down big time. That's going to allow Josh Adams to go to the inside. Josh Adams trying to take that second place spot back as he started second. This battle between Dylan Chappell and Nick Capiak still going on though. As Josh Adams to the inside, Cole Steiner there for a second, backs out of it. Drops up the racetrack a little bit. 2 to go here in stage 1. A lot of stuff happening late in this first stage.
Yeah, a lot of movers, comers, and goers. Now, it's not done yet, though. White flag in the air.
Final lap for stage 1. This battle for second still heating up, but Josh Adams trying to get there. Does he try anything drastic in this final part of this stage?
Here comes Kisselweather.
Just on the outside lane, got a little wall a little
Not gonna be
bit, but
enough.
Cole Steiner will get second. Right at the line, though, between
I think
Hapiak
Hapiak.
and Chappell. Hapiak got him there. The caution is going to come out for the end of stage 1, but Jonathan Parker, dominant stage 1, led all the laps so far.
Yeah, Jonathan Parker clean air out in front, uncontested pretty much. I don't know if anyone even got side by side with him during that run.
They played it perfectly, just kind of saved on the bottom. I don't think he was full saving there on the bottom. Typically when you full save, you really back it off a lot. But he managed the bottom well enough, got a gap. Everyone started battling behind him. He just pulled away even further after saving his tires. And now pit road already opens. Very quick pit stop, very quick cautions here. See if anyone tries to take 2 tires here early on. definitely can happen. We've seen it happen a lot this season. Two tires for Jonathan Barker and Mark Kisselweather. Everyone else taking 4, so we'll see how that works for them. They'll have to go 35 laps on this set of tires. See if it can happen. I mean, we've seen it. I mean, it's happened pretty much every race this season. The 2 tires are so dominant in this next-gen car. Jonathan Parker, our stage 1 winner. He's gonna get back behind the pace car. The pace car takes 2 to go. Well, we have the caution. I think we'll bring in our stage 1 winner of Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker wins stage 1. Dominant performance there. What was your thought process in stage 1? You stuck to the bottom, saved your tire as well. Everyone started battling behind you, just kind of pull away.
Yeah, I didn't want to get stuck in the riffraff because when you're battling here, it's really easy to burn your tires. And so once I got out to that little bit of a lead, I just wanted to stay consistent, and it paid off in the end there.
Yeah, you took 2 tires there under the caution. So what's your thought process there? And do you think the 2 tires are going to work as well here as they have at the other tracks this season?
Oh, hopefully. The other short track that didn't work out too well, but I just wanted to keep the track position and get out front because stage points matter so much.
Yeah, you're able to dominate stage 1 tonight. We'll see. Good luck in the rest of the race. We might talk to you at the stage 2 as well.
Thank you.
That was our... Oh wait, I moved in the wrong chat. Oopsie. But Jonathan Parker, our stage 1 winner. But Mark Kisselweather going to be P number 2 on the outside, so he took 2 tires there as well. So we'll see if Kisselweather has anything for that 48 machine. He was really fast at the end of that stage. The pace car is off, back underway here at Bristol.
Also be another 35 laps for this stage. Do the caution laps here. Again, Parker with a great start, just launches off and clears 4 cars ahead of everyone. Kisselweather's clear for second. There you go, slots in front of Quide. Arms up on the bottom, gets a bit tight. Snyder clears for 4th. Top 5, settle it out for now, but Klein on the outside lane. Ooh, Snyder almost got to the left rear of Giovanni Klein there.
And old Josh Adams can really lose off a turn 4 there. It's a good save there, but Giovanni Klein using that outside lane to his advantage. He gets by Mark Kisselweather very quickly. So we'll see Giovanni Klein if he can move up through the field here. He's been running that top lane, trying to chase down that race leader of Jonathan Parker. Parker's staying up front, but Giovanni Klein, service driver on 4 tires here. Mark Kisselweather and Jonathan Parker on 2. So we'll definitely be close between. We'll see if those 4 tires make a difference.
Right now it's looking pretty good for Klein. He's actually catching up to a race leader of Jonathan Parker. Both these drivers on 2 tires, same with Mark Kisselweather. The top 3 right now on 2 tires, and looks like track position is going to be pretty important tonight, but we'll see how this tires last on the next 35 laps or so. Adams going to look to get solid for 3rd, and he will clear in the turn 3.
Yeah, I think Mark's just trying to save a little bit of tires there on the bottom. That's typically what normally happens. It's just really hard save on the bottom. Everyone kind of goes around you on the outside lane, make them run them up, going around you. You're gonna start to come in late. But Jonathan Parker, he hasn't really been doing that. Even if he hasn't really been super saving on the bottom, just saving, just trying not to over push it on the bottom. Or Kisselweather's been taking that super saving on the bottom, and one just kind of goes by him. He'll start to fly back towards the end of the stage. We saw at the end of stage 1 there. See if he does it at the end of stage 2, but no one's really close to battling yet up front as Josh Adams is closing that gap down to Giovanni Klein, but Jonathan Parker just absolutely dominant. Here comes Cole Siren out on the inside of Mark Kisselweather.
Right by the side, Kisselweather hangs on to the outside lane for now. Snyder continuing on the bottom here. Arnold might be able to get his right rear there. Not able to. Snyder closes the gap on the top side.
Snyder slots into 5th there. There's Ronnie Klein. He's got Josh Adams all over his back home for second now. So Josh Adams making that good speed early on in the stage. It'll go to the bottom. Ronnie Klein gonna pass the defend on the outside lane. It's pretty easy to do that. We'll see how
Maybe been
tight
some contact there.
Klein, we'll see how tight Klein pins him, and that was really close. But Adams trying to stay on the bottom. Klein's trying to pin him down off the exit. Trying to choke up his exit a little bit, but Klein running that outside lane great. Staying alongside, still side by side for a second. It's gonna allow Marcus Weather to close that in.
Yeah, gonna allow Kissenweather and everyone else to close the gap as Klein clears up top.
Klein moves right back to the bottom. Adams moves back up to the top lane, so Adams gonna have to try and find his way by on the outside lane this time by. He stayed down in the Klein stays down in the middle, bottom. Adams moves back up to the top lane, middle of the top lane there. Klein now blocks it down into 1, now down into 3. Adams going to try and stay to the middle, a little bit lower than Klein. So he got a little bit loose there off the floor, lost him a little, just a slight bit of time.
Adams getting some clean air here. Looking to the inside once again.
Try there, just can't get the grip off the exit. It's getting a little bit too tight. Don't want to force anything, because if you try to force it doing that on the bottom, the back end will easily step out. You'll go around, and you definitely don't want that to happen. Not a lot of space here at Bristol. You do that easily off the corner, you go straight into the inside wall. Everyone's kind of running the top now. Second on back.
Klein got loose.
Adams is barely getting his nose under there. He's actually going to be side by side for a second now. He's on the battle back there. Adams starting to make pace. His climb, if he's right in front, starting to get a little bit overheated, starting to get a little bit too tight coming off the corner. 15 to go here in stage number 2. Adams might have something for Klein. They've been close to battling like this. They haven't really lost a lot of time to Parker than what they were battling at the end of stage number 1 there. See how that changes these last 10 to 15 laps of the stage.
Yeah, really, 2nd through 8th place is one straightaway away from each other, so it's pretty close between 2nd through 8th. Then you just got Jonathan Barker way out front by 1.2 seconds ahead. So I mean, if one driver makes a mistake in this pack, they can drop all the way down outside the top 5 pretty easily.
And one thing I'm also noticing, everyone's pretty much all on the top, with the exception of Mark Kissenweather. So Kissenweather making great strides on the bottom there, just trying to save his right front tire, but overheated. He's doing great so far, and now he's got Josh Arnold looking to his outside, but the tires are starting to fall off for those drivers on the outside lanes. So Marcus Weather might have an opportunity to maybe steal 2nd here late. Adams, he's moved back to the bottom, starting to struggle as he's really not getting the cars turned into the corner there. He's starting to wash up a little bit, about a half lane off the bottom. Kissenweather's trying to stick his nose to the inside of Adams there. Adams just getting very tight.
Klein's pulled away.
Yeah, Klein's just pulled away, just trying to, I think Adams has got his overheated his right front, trying to turn under Klein. It just did not work at all, and he's really starting to struggle on those on that right front tire. As now Kissenweather actually able to get back to the bottom. He's actually going to clear. So that's what happens there when you overheat the right front. That's how you got to get it done on the bottom. Really saving hard on the bottom. Eventually that starts paying off. You start passing people just like that on the inside lane. We'll see if Kissenweather's anything that should catch Klein here in this final 5 laps of stage number 2.
Yeah, I mean, Kissenweather's doing a good job getting these stage points, but you can't really do much when Parker's leading the whole thing. He's at every lap so far tonight.
Hey, Jonathan Parker playing the perfect game of just saving your tires but not pushing too much, riding that fine line. He's done it so far so good tonight, but Kind of an interesting note, after Adam started to fall off, Klein started to reel that gap just a little bit in.
Klein goes bottom. I think he's let Kiss Mother by. Huh.
Let him by
Not sure
there.
if their teammates, might be teammates there.
Yes, they are. So part of JMC Incorporated. So just Klein letting by his teammate of Mark Kissweather, trying to get him to the extra stage point.
Most
So
likely
you
in
go here
single
in
file.
stage 2. Yeah, everyone's single file off now, but two tires.
Down the 10.
The two tires worked out for Jonathan Parker and Mark Kissweather. They're going to get stage P1 and P2 in this stage, and guys with 4
Klein
tires
also in third too.
Those guys ended up falling off. The guys who took 4 ended up falling off by the end of it, even though they had a strong start. But off turn 4, Jonathan Parker picks up stage number 2. The caution going to come out now there for the end of stage 2. So Jonathan Parker sweeps the stages tonight. He's at one more stage to go. About 120 laps before we get there. But so far, so good for Jonathan Parker. Stage 1 and stage 2, and so far, so clean for everyone. Second caution tonight, only for the stages. No incidents tonight so far. It's a very clean race.
Yeah, Parker been up front all night, led every lap so far. I mean, pretty much Jonathan Parker we're used to pretty much seeing. See what the pit stop strategy is here. I'm expecting 4, but I mean 2 tires actually looks quicker. Maybe some driver will take 2. Doesn't look like it actually.
See, everyone's gonna take 4 tires there. Everyone's gonna come in as they came out as they came in.
Or pretty much exactly the same for the top 3. I believe pretty much the whole field. There might be a few positions changed, but flopped around, but nothing too crazy. So far, we've had no cautions due to incidents, and there hasn't really been a lot of contact here tonight. Typical of Bristol. I mean, typically we see a little bit more contact than we have tonight so far, but just very respectful racing so far, and we've seen a little door-to-door, but nothing too out of the ordinary so far.
And playing it perfectly so far tonight for Jonathan Parker and Mark Kissenweather.
Going green this time, so we'll go green with 120 to go.
So now this is going to be the stage where the tires, we're going to see a lot of different tire strategies. They can go about 93, probably about 95 laps on fuel. So they will have to pit, but if someone save the tires, maybe play a little bit of strategy. But the green flag is out for Jonathan Parker. To get on the gas very quickly. We're down on the inside of now. Giovanni Klein is the inside of Mark Kisweather of his teammate. So we're going to fly on the outside lane. Josh Adams, big run as well off turn 2. He's the clear climb. He's going to stick to the outside. Going to try and ride that momentum to the outside of Mark Kisweather, but not going to be able to take it there. Mark Kisweather, he's up to second now. Let's see how close he tries to stay to Parker. But Josh Adams trying to look to the inside.
Yeah, Adams, we saw how quick he was at Myrtle Beach. Could be a repeat of that race here tonight. It's a lot longer run here for stage 3. Almost quadruple any length they went all night long so far. Adams clears for second. This one, they kind of just gave it to him, honestly, there in turn 4.
Super save his tires again, just sticking to the bottom. It worked out for him at the end of the stages. But now it's gonna be a lot tougher. You gotta make your tires last to 60 to 90 laps. 95 laps on a fuel tank, probably easy to split it and faster to split it. You could try, since we did have 120, you could try 40-80 with the one pit road, as we're only using the front stretch pit road, but I think it's just a little bit too short here for that really to try that, and not the fall off just kind of stays around a second and a half.
Yeah, the fall off.
It's not too much tire wear, but I think you still have to make them last 60 laps, which is definitely a long way here.
Yeah, I mean, from what we've seen, I think the two-tire strategy will be the strategy that most of these drivers will use. I mean, there's no reason to take 4 if it's not going to be any quicker. Most likely, if we use stay green the rest of the way, just kind of a split in half, 60-60, take 2 on your green flag pit stop. Adams and Klein staying pretty close with Jonathan Barker so far early in this one.
Staying close is Josh Adams. As Parker, he knows his fuel is, I mean, well, not fuel, but he knows he's got to make his tires last a lot longer this time. So maybe starting to save a little bit more on the bottom lane there.
Is Kissingweather getting passed by Dylan Chappell now? Is Kissingweather falling back quite a bit though? Even if he is trying to save those tires, they're about 1.5 seconds back from Jonathan Parker early on in this run, 10 laps into it.
Staying close there to Jonathan Parker, but Josh Adams, he kind of pushed those first few laps to try and get up to second, get that track position. Now he's staying right behind Jonathan Parker as close as possible. So we'll see if Adams has anything for Jonathan Parker late in this run. It's a long way to go here, though.
Yeah, over 100 laps at Bristol is a lot of turns. Constantly turn left after a few seconds of going straight. I mean, right now Adams doing the best anyone has done so far tonight, staying with Jonathan Parker, and he's not using the outside lane to do so. He's just following Parker's line. This is exactly what he did at Myrtle Beach 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago.
Playing it perfectly so far. Just trying to save tires. We'll see these strategies soon. But Dylan Chappell, he's up to third, trying to work his way up. He's using that outside lane's advantage. Wants to try and get that track position for the race lead. These top two have been heavy saving on the bottom. Dylan Chappell, he wants to try and get that track position. He's moving up through the field. He's going to look to the outside of Josh Adams here soon. He's got the run. Does he dive low? He's going to stick to the top lane. There's the outside lane is where the pace is at right now. He's going to be able to do it. He's going to get to the outside of Josh Adams here, maybe a 1 and 2. He's got to be too careful. Don't want to drive it too deep. Try and cut under. We've seen that happen with Josh Adams. But Josh Adams, he sees what Chappell's doing. He's going to move to the outside lane now to try and block Chappell off. He's going to get the run. Josh Adams is going to try and look for the race lead here soon. Going to get the nose to the outside of the 48 of Jonathan Parker. He's got the run. He's staying to the top lane, not going to the bottom.
I think he might be getting a little rushed here from Dylan Chappell because he kind of wants this to be a 1v1 situation at the end, but Chappell making the aggressive move on the outside lane. He's falling back now, though. Tires seem to be a little overheated.
Yeah, I was Josh Adams, to just let him go. Same with Jonathan Parker. Dylan Chappell's going up front. He's ripping that outside lane. His tires will fall off eventually. The right front will get loose. But Jonathan Parker loose on the bottom. Caused a little bit of contact there with Josh Adams. And that's what I was mentioning at the top of the show. Eventually, if you push a little bit too early on the gas on the bottom, the rear is going to want to start to kick out, and that's starting to happen for Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker overheating his right rear tire, and Josh Adams able to take advantage on the outside lane. Josh Adams to the point.
Here comes Chappell to the outside for second on Parker. Can he clear off of turn 2? Yes, he will. So Parker falls down to third for now. He's still fighting on the inside lane, but he will be fall down to third here on the front straightaway soon.
Yeah, so Parker just getting loose on that right rear now on the bottom. Maybe just kind of backed off a little bit too much and then pushed a little bit too much on the exit. And overheats that right rear tire. But Dylan Chappell, he's been running the top. He started to fall back a little bit, overheat that right front. This is going to be about managing your heat and your tires here. We'll see who comes in late, but Adams, he blocks the outside lane of Chappell. Chappell tried to get by on the outside lane. So Parker getting loose on the bottom, but he's back to the bottom on saving. He's actually kind of losing it a little bit on the entry, but Dylan Chappell and Josh Adams, they're going to be throwing haymakers on each other for the race lead. This could allow Jonathan Parker to come back in later in this run.
Yeah, as Mark Kissler all the way down in 8th place, way down there on the order. He really falling back off this restart. He's about almost 4 seconds back from a race leader, so he's doing some heavy saving right now, which I just don't know if that'll pay off here. I mean, we'll see. Well, time will tell, but I mean, being this far back, I mean, there's a lot of time to make up here. Trying to save tires. So here comes Chappell now to the inside of Adams for the race lead.
Tries to use that inside lane to his advantage, but it's back to the top lane here in 3 and 4. Jonathan Parker closing that gap back in. These top 3 still very close. But interesting note though, Marcus, whether he super saves on the bottom, he fell all the way back to 8th. He's got a lot of traffic to work through now. He wants to try and make that happen, but so Marcus, whether he could close this gap down soon if he's really saved his tires a lot. But he's got a lot of traffic to work through, but meanwhile he's running back in 8th, but these top 3 all battling very close together.
Yeah, top 3 all close together. As here comes Chappell yet against the inside lane. We'll see what he does here. Not able to do anything much there on the inside.
Trying to get by Josh Adams, but just can't do it. Every time he moves to the top, Adams moves up to block it, and he can't really do anything on the bottom. He's just too tight on the bottom to make anything happen. Right now, Josh Adams trying to close that gap down, trying to maintain this lead as Chappell's just trying to close the gap down, trying to get side by side with Josh Adams on the outside lane. But there's Adams playing it perfectly, blocking it perfectly, as meanwhile just Parker just sitting right behind this happening. Anything happens in front of him.
And one driver to watch out for. In 4th place, Giovanni Klein, 2/10 quicker than the top 3. He's been saving his tires, I guess, and the few seconds back from these guys. Clean air up ahead also. Third player factor here. He's another 2/10 quicker that time by.
He's making it work. He's here come Parker to the inside of Dylan Chappell.
Parker trying to get back up to 2nd, have a chance for this race lead, but he's still in 3rd. He falls back, not able to get around Dylan Chappell. As here comes Giovanni Klein. I just talked about him a moment ago. He's really getting on these top 3.
These top 3 have been battling all pretty much this entire run, and Giovanni Klein running the top now, saved his tires pretty well. And Josh Adams just blocking the runs on Dylan Chappell perfectly. And Jonathan Parker, he moved to the top to block Klein as Klein's going to come back in now. Just wondering if Jonathan Parker's sitting a little tight on the bottom now. Here comes Giovanni Klein making that drive up. These top 4 staying very close now. This top 3 had now become 4. But as I pointed out earlier, Mark Kisselweather, he was up front. He's been saving a lot in this race. And he started to come in after about 30,
Parker
35 laps.
not clear quite. Here comes Klein now to the bottom, 3 wide for 2nd. Parker clears now for 2nd though. Wow.
Wow, that almost ended in disaster. Parker moves to 2nd, Chappell falls back to 4th. But as I mentioned, Mark Kisselweather, he's comes in after about 30 to 35 laps after really saving his tires. He's now up to 7th. He still has drivers to pass, but he's down to 3.2 seconds to the race leader, so he's closing that gap in. So Mark Kisselweather, keep an eye on him. He could be a threat later in this race.
Yeah, pit stop's gonna probably happen in the next 15 laps or so if they want to split it in half. Some may go a little bit longer. I hope for a caution. Here comes Parker now for the race lead.
Down to the inside, Parker's been staying out of the bottom as Adams has been blocking and just moving between the outside and inside lanes, just blocking Chapel's runs. So Parker trying to get back to the race lead. He's going to look to the outside. Vera almost has his nose there. He actually has enough gap on the end of the 1 and 2. He's going to try and get the nose off the exit.
He's
will.
there.
Parker to the outside. Going to be side by side with Josh
Watch out for
Adams.
Klein. Watch out for Klein behind.
Klein's going to follow through, but Jonathan Parker back to the race lead. He instantly moves back to the bottom, but Giovanni Klein, what does he have for Jonathan Parker in that 48 machine?
He has been quicker these past probably around 15 laps or so. We'll see what happens here. I don't know.
Everyone who kind of fell back off the top 3 early on, they've gained that gap down, so they've halved their gap. So everyone's been saving tires towards the back, and now they're going to be fighting with each other and closing in on this race lead as they all have been battling up front for the past 20 or so laps.
Here comes Kistler on the inside for the top 5 position on Arnold. He was able to make it work. He's really wrapping that inside lane good. He's going to clear for 5th. And he's going to work his way up to 4th here on Zachary Merritt up ahead. Dylan Chapel has pitted the last time by. He took 4 tires there with 70 laps to go, so a little bit earlier than we would have expected. So he's not going to split up evenly. He's going to go 50 and 70. But so is Mark Kissler now up to 3rd. Wow, he's making up a lot of time right now.
Yeah, coming in very late, and that's what he's been practicing that pretty much all race. In both stages, he's fell back really early on. He came in back with a lot of speed, but keep an eye on Dylan Chapel. He is 2 laps down, pitted very early. He's got to work his way through the traffic. Josh Adams coming down pit road now from that 4th place spot as well. So keep an eye on those. They're pitting pretty early though, so it could be late at the end of the race. It could fall off a lot.
Yeah, we expected these drivers to split up half and half, 60-60, but looks like some of these drivers have fallen off a little bit earlier, pitting a little earlier. So as here comes Kistler now for 2nd on Giovanni Klein. Klein and Kistler are teammates. So expect Klein to give him the position. Yes, he will. So Kistler up to 2nd, and he is really moving right now.
Yeah, that last time by Parker, a 15.574, Kissweather 15.342. He's been practicing this all night long in those stages, and it's paying off now. The super save playing for Mark Kissweather's favor. We're about halfway through the run. He's pretty much a rocket ship, but we'll have to see how the strategies play out. Keep in mind, Chapel pitted, Adams had pitted as well, and here comes Chapel trying to put himself back to 1 lap down.
But can
See
Kistler
what
clear?
Adams do. They're both behind him actually. As Chapel and Adams have to get by quick. As
Ooh, Adams,
gonna be
whoa.
3 wide middle. What a move for Josh Adams. That could be
Wow.
the difference. That could be moves like that. That could be a difference for a race win if something happens on pit road for Jonathan Parker and Mark Kissweather, or if they get stuck in traffic as well. You got to be aggressive getting through traffic on the fresh tires, and they were as well. But that leaves the leaders side by side. Parker in the wall, Kissweather to the point with the freshest tires pretty much on the racetrack of people who haven't pitted. Mark Kissweather flying late in this run.
So what a move as Giovanni Klein taking 2 tires. That's what I mentioned before. I would expect drivers that pit a little bit later to take 2 tires because it looked really good in stage number 2. But we'll see how it is for the longer run. We only saw 35 laps for stage 2 on those right side tires, but 60 laps is a big difference compared to 30.
Yeah, especially, and I wanted to see if Klein takes 2 tires as well. Nathan Lamont down pit road as well, but I'm starting to see maybe if Kissweather Parker, they're staying out pretty late. If they just don't want to pit and risk having a caution, that could be deadly. But also, if they go really late, they can come down and maybe take 2 tires if they don't lose enough time. But right now, Giovanni Klein, he's currently in the middle of 3 and 4, coming off turn 4. Josh Adams now off turn 4. They're 1 lap down. They're going to try and chase down Mark Kissweather. Currently, Josh Adams, first driver on 4 tires. Last time by ran at 14.4. Mark Kissweather ran at 15.4, so he's the second faster per lap.
What Parker does here on pit lane. 2 tires only for Parker, but Klein and Adams already passed him. Zachary Meredith looking to come down pit lane. Same with Josh Arnold. Tricky pit lane to get onto.
Very tough pit lane to get onto.
Yeah, no one has gotten a black flag yet, though.
Yeah, everyone good on pit road, but right now Mark Kissweather stays out on the racetrack. So he's got to come down soon. Maybe try a big or maybe he might try a big overcut. See if he comes in late, but we'll have to keep an eye on Jonathan Parker. Does he chase down Dylan Chappell, Josh Adams, and Giovanni Klein? Giovanni Klein on the 2 tires.
Yeah, Parker also on the 2-tire strategy. Same with Zachary Meredith. Everyone else took 4. Klein also on 2. Mentioned that. He's right now the first driver that has pitted. The top 4 have not pitted yet of Kissweather, Ruiz, Hapiak, and Kite. Kissweather is really quick on these older tires. When will he come in? There he goes down pit lane. 50 to go. I would expect 2-tire strategy here for Mark Kissweather.
Could try and take forward, try and chase him down, but right now, Giovanni Klein leading the drivers who've already pitted. So far, Jose Ruiz, Nick Capiak, Donnie Kite have stayed out on the racetrack.
2 tires for Kissweather.
See, he's already behind Giovanni Klein by a big margin. Klein's already off turn 4. He just crossed the line with 4:50 to go. And Mark Kissweather's over a half a lap behind. Giovanni Klein on 2 tires. We'll see if they hang on for him. Maybe they overcut 2 tires with Mark Kissweather, Jonathan Parker. They work out. Keep an eye on those lap times. Right now, Giovanni Klein ran a 14.6 last time by. Jonathan Parker, same thing, but we'll see how those tires fall off after about 20, 30 laps. Parker's been sticking to the bottom. I don't know what Klein's been doing. Jalen Chappell, 14.8. He's slower than Giovanni Klein. Giovanni Klein may be playing a great strategy here with a 2-tire call early with a very big undercut.
Yeah, he's just wrapping the bottom right now. And the lap time is going to be winding down here. Under 50 go at Bristol. It's only around 12 minutes long.
Yeah, this race has been very quick tonight. We've down to 50 to go, and it's only been a 42-minute race, and we've had the 2 cautions of stages. Those stages went by very fast.
Yeah, no cautions due to incidents yet. But still, 45 laps to go here at Bristol. Anything can happen.
So you have to keep an eye on that gap between Giovanni Klein, Josh Adams, Dylan Chappell, Jonathan Parker, Mark Kissweather. They've already got by Donnie Kite as
he's still out on those
Jose
old
Ruiz,
tires.
Nick Capiak and Jose Ruiz still out on the racetrack, just trying to catch a caution.
Yeah, Klein has pitted.
They can go another 10, 15 laps though out
So,
front.
Klein has pitted, and he's already up to 2nd on pace, so he might even pass Jose Ruiz before Jose Ruiz even pits. Josh Adams not too far behind, but he has 4-lap older tires than Giovanni Klein. He did take 4 tires though, which we'll see how that plays out. I mean, usually in these next-gen cars, as we've seen this season, 2 tires are just the better strategy overall.
Yeah, they have been working, but so far, Josh Adams, this last couple times, he's been about even with Giovanni Klein, so maybe he might have something late if Klein overheats those right-side tires. It could come down to it. Josh Adams slowly closing that gap down. There were even times there. Jose Ruiz comes down pit road. So Giovanni Klein moves back to the lead. Josh Adams into 2nd. He's trying to chase down that race leader of Giovanni Klein. The gap of 1.2 seconds. Klein last time by a 14.71. Adams at 9.06. So a little bit held up there that last time by. As Adams, I think, is starting to struggle with a little bit of rear grip off of an exit.
Yeah. Mark Kissweather, he was the leader before the pit cycle started, or around that time. Right now in 5th place, about 6 seconds back from Klein. We'll see what he can do here with 38 laps to go, how big of a dent he can make in it. Same with Jonathan Parker. And basically anyone in the top 5 really has a good shot at winning. And we really don't even know exactly how this all will play out as Parker gets around Chapel as they're side by side for 3rd.
Yeah, Parker and Kissweather on the 2 tires. Chapel, Adams, they are on the 4. Klein's on 2 as well, but pitted about maybe 10-15 laps earlier than Adams, than Parker and Kissweather. But Kissweather and Parker, that gap down for Parker is down to 4 seconds. Kissweather down to 5 seconds, so they're faster on the overcut tires right now. Josh Adams staying about even still with Giovanni Klein, but Giovanni Klein running about 15-second flat lap times now. Kissweather and Parker are running about 14.6s, so they're closing that gap down.
Yep, and 35 laps to go here. I mean, I really don't know how this is going to play out. Will they have enough time? It looks like, I mean, based off the times right now, I don't think they will be able to, but we don't know how big of a fall off will happen in these next 20 or so laps. I mean, if Klein really falls off the cliff here, they could definitely catch him, but right now he's only about a few tenths slower, maybe 2.8 max at 3 tenths. And I mean, at that rate, they may catch him at the ends, but it'll be very close.
And Nick Appiak just went by Giovanni Klein. Giovanni Klein's falling off to about 15.2s. Parker and Kissweather, they're closing pretty quickly. I think they might get there by the end of it. They're going to get to Adams first, though, and Adams is going to do a lot of blocking, probably. He wants to hold that 2nd spot as much as he can. But Jonathan Parker is losing time to Mark Kissweather. Kissweather closing that gap down, but they can't battle each other too much either because they all lose a lot of time to Giovanni Klein.
As Klein is really falling off a cliff right now. He's about half a second slower than these drivers behind. So as soon as I was saying that, the last 5 laps is in basically the cliff of Giovanni Klein. As we're going to have to get around Adams too, so we'll see how big of a hurdle that is right there. As none of these guys are teammates, I believe, so Adams not a chase driver, but still.
The only 2 drivers that are teammates are Mark Kissweather and Giovanni Klein, but Jonathan Parker and Josh Adams are in the same voice chat in the Discord, so maybe they might be talking strategy over as well. But as now Josh Adams just lets them by, though, so doesn't put up a fight. But here comes Mark Kissweather trying to get by Jonathan Parker, but with 26 to go this time, next time by.
Gives him a bumper.
Parker, a little bit of contact with the Kissweather. The gap's down to a second over Giovanni Klein. Giovanni Klein on the 2 tires. But the top 3 all on 2 tires, but Parker and Kissweather on fresher 2 tires compared to Klein, but these guys are going to be battling between each other, and Klein's going to be coming up here right there, 0.4 of a second now between Parker and Klein. How difficult is Klein going to make this for Jonathan Parker and Mark Kissweather to get by?
Also, will lap traffic play a part in tonight's race? Bristol, known for lap traffic involvement. Closest car in front of him so far is Donnie Kite and Jose Ruiz.
Here comes Mark Kissweather to the outside. This could be the move for the win on Jonathan Parker.
He's got to clear.
Flies from the outside. He's going to big run. He's going to get to the outside of his teammate of Giovanni Klein. And Mark Kissweather to the race lead. That might be the move of the race right there for Mark Kissweather. Jonathan Parker can't get clear Klein yet, and this is going to allow Mark Kissweather to pull away with 22 to go.
And he has fresher tires than Jonathan Parker, so he has all the advantage in the world right now. Clean air, fresher tires, and only 22 laps to go. And right now, he's actually pulling away from Jonathan Parker, so Mark Kissweather looking really good. He's got hope for no caution here for the rest of this one.
And 20 laps to go this time by. There'll be 5 minutes left of this race. Very quick lap times here at Bristol. It goes by in a flash. I mean, we just started this race less than an hour ago already. We're already down to the final 20 laps. This time has been flying by quick tonight. There's just no cautions other than the 2 stage cautions, and it's just been a very fast-paced race tonight. It's been all off perfect for Mark Kissweather in this final stage. He took the first 2 stages, just saved his tires, and got the feel of how he had to save his tires to make them last as long as he could in the final stage. Played it perfectly, played a 2-tire strategy called late. Enough of an overcut. It didn't matter if he was on 2 or 4. He took the lead. Now he's just trying to pull away, just trying to click these laps off as quick as possible. Just trying to get this race win. It could be a good points night for him. I mean, though Parker, he's won both stages.
I think it pretty much evens out from the math point. I think you get a little bit of a bonus for winning the race, but I think Parker probably led the most laps here tonight also.
Yes, I think it probably will even out eventually, but this is a great drive from Mark Kissweather, saving his tires as perfectly as possible. So the first half of this race was pretty much dominated by Jonathan Parker in those stages, but the tire wear for Mark Kissweather, he's been saving his tires a lot better. He's just playing it perfectly. Right now, Jonathan Parker's pulling away from Giovanni Klein, so Parker doesn't even have a threat of losing any more spots either. So, Kissweather doing what he needs to do, but unfortunately for him, he's just not, his championship opponent not having as bad as a race as he hoped.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Parker's worst race is second pretty much at these ovals. The only other track he's done bad at was New Hampshire Road Course, because he got a penalty late in that one. He was still running in the top 3 of that race. But Parker, I mean, like we said before, I mean, all you gotta do is stay close. I mean, Talladega next week, who knows what could happen. If you have a good show in there, Kansas is all for the taking there, and the championship still in his grasp for now. And it's these top 2 really separating themselves from the rest of the Chase field.
Yeah, Giovanni Klein, he was also running well up there as well. If he was able to pick up the win, that would definitely put a point chunk out. And he could have. I mean, it also just prize money as well through the points paying, as they have paid to be in this interview the season. So it also could have been helped as well. But Giovanni Klein, he was 105 points back from Jonathan Parker, but a great run for him tonight. That could actually give him a good points chunk on other drivers in front of him and help him get a better points finishing position.
As we're coming down to the final few laps here, 8 to go, and the top 5 is not over yet. You got Zachary Meredith, Josh Arnold, and Dylan Chappell. Chappell on way older tires than these drivers, so he's probably going to fall back quite a bit. But Meredith and Arnold on the same tires, they've been on the same lap there. 48 laps to go. We still have a chance to see a top 5 battle here late in this one.
Yeah, Arnold has Chappell all over his back bumper. There's Chappell looking to the inside on Josh Arnold with 6 to go here. Tries to look to the inside. Can he get by Arnold? This is another thing. Arnold, he's in front of Klein in the points, and this could help. This could help Giovanni Klein close that gap down, and he can get by. Tries to dive under, a little bit of contact there. That's going to put him pretty far back now. Chappell trying to stay close to Josh Arnold here with 3 to go. As they actually have Mark Kissweather just entering turn 1 right behind him now off of turn 2. So meanwhile, this battle for 6th is going on. Chappell to the inside. Mark Kissweather, he's just got to get off turn 4. So Mark Kissweather off turn 4. White flag for him. He played the strategy perfectly. Saved his tires perfectly. He was able to dethrone Jonathan Parker's dominance in the first half of this race. Off turn 4, Mark Kissweather. He's going to get the win tonight here at Bristol as they battle for 6th right in front of him. this could be a big battle for Josh Arnold and Giovanni Klein. If Giovanni Klein's gonna get third, but Dylan Chappell to the inside, Joshua to the outside. The battle for sixth, right coming
Chappell
to the
got
line.
it.
Chappell's gonna clear perfectly off of 4.
What a move on the inside lane. Arnold just let it slip by on the outside. What a battle for 6th place there.
Yeah, but Mark Kissweather, perfect race for him. He's able to get the race win after playing a great strategy, saving his tires the best in that final stage. And Mark Kissweather wins the Coulters Bristol 106 here tonight. As we mentioned, it was a very short race, no cautions for incident, a perfectly clean race for everybody tonight. Only the 2-stage cautions is what we have, and the race time only 54 minutes and 2 seconds. A very fast race tonight. Mark Kissweather celebrating. He's gonna park it right before the start-finish line. We'll be right back here for Bristol with our top 3 interviews and our results here from Bristol. Welcome back here to Bristol Motor Speedway here in Bristol, Tennessee. And Mark Kissweather just picked up the win for the Coulters Bristol 106. Before we get our top 3 interviews, before we interview our top 3, let's take a look at tonight's results for the Coulters Bristol 106 here tonight. As Mark Kissweather able to pick up the win perfectly, 2-tire strategy call in under the green flag and saved his tires the best in the field and able to dethrone Jonathan Parker's dominant first half there late. And Jonathan Parker picks up P2. Devontae Klein picks up P number 3. Josh Adams rounds out in P4 tonight. Jackie Meredith rounds up the top 5. Dylan Chapel with the last lap move, last corner move over Josh Ronald will pick up 6. Josh Ronald will round out 7th. Last driver on the lap. Jose Rose picks up 8th. Nick Capiat finishing 9th tonight. And Nathan Lamont finishing in the top 10. Donnie Kite will finish 11th tonight. Cole Steiner early exit tonight as well in P number 12. Mike Campbell same for him in 13th, and Michael Morgan will round out 14th tonight, not even taking the grid. So great run for Mark Kisseweather tonight, though. He was able to play a perfect strategy there late. Let's try to track him in here, but Mark Kisseweather able to play the strategy perfectly, take 2 tires, save his tires the best, and able to come out on top. Marcus was able to pick up the race win. How's it feel tonight? Able to get that race win here tonight at Bristol?
It feels great. I always say this. I felt horrible during practice and qualifying, and I just figured it out during the race. I don't know. I don't know what I did right.
And that's what I noticed in those first 2 stages. You really backed off early, just trying to save those tires as much as you could, and it kind of worked out. And it worked out for you there at the late final stages. So, what was your game plan in those stages, and knowing that you're just trying to save those tires, get a feel for the car there for the late run, or you're just trying to just drive it as best you could?
I wanted to figure out the bottom because I knew that was going to be fast, but really my whole plan during the stages was just to survive and see what happens, because usually every other Bristol race I've ever done was complete chaos. So I just figured I'd run my race, let everybody go past me, and if I catch them, I catch them. I'll figure out how to pass them. And I guess just roll on the bottom, whatever I was doing, save tire, because when I took the 2 tires at the end of stage 1, I felt really good on the 2 tires, so figured I'd take 4 at the start of the 3rd stage to set me up for the end of the race.
And you played the perfectly there, saved your tires the best, and took 2 under green. But before we send off all the way in tonight, any sponsors I think for tonight's race win?
Just NAOR and Cole Snyder Designs for making my winning paint scheme.
All right, once again, congrats on the race win. We'll see you next week at Talladega.
All right, thank you.
It's our race winner of Mark Kisweather. We'll bring in our 2nd place finisher of Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker able to sweep both stages tonight. He was able to get stage 1 in stage 2. Lost a little bit there at the end of in the stage number 3 there. Well, what do you think you could have differently there, and just how the handling changed in stage 3 compared to the stage 1 and 2?
Yeah, I needed a wedge adjustment for sure. Yeah, as that track rubbered up, it got tighter, and you know me, when a car's tight, I am out to lunch, and Bristol's already not one of my better tracks, so it was this and the road course I really had circled on the chase, like, okay, I really need to not mess those 2 races up. I wasn't even thinking about Talladega because that's almost roulette. So I'm happy I came out of here with a huge points haul. I might have even still outscored him. I don't remember where he finished in the stages, so I'm thinking big picture there. Led the most laps, won both stages, and at the very worst case scenario for me, we broke even on points. And going into Dega, that's a pretty good gap, so that I can kind of think about what plan I want to go with, because I don't really know where I want to be in that pack. But having a big points gap does definitely let me plan a little bit better.
Yeah, and also knowing you just kind of break even tonight going into the day, you know it can be a wild card race, and just how's your strategy and your game plan going into next week? And we did have the All-Star race between the chase and the regular season. We have the All-Star race at Talladega, and everyone kind of got a little bit of practice, a little bit of feel for how it's going to handle going into the next week. But what's your game plan going into the next week at Talladega?
That kind of depends where I'm at in the pack, so we'll just see where I qualify, and then we'll go from there. And you mentioned the practice. It would be good practice if they didn't update the game, because I'm sure, as you know, they updated these cars at the plate tracks. Whew, they are a lot different than what they used to be. So that's not really gonna apply that much, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it doesn't. But I've gotten some practice in other leagues and elsewhere, so I do have a good idea of how to work the draft, what strategy should be. So kind of wish that race was so short. We could rack them up now, and I wouldn't really mind it. Let's just go to Dagger right now, but we'll have to wait until next week for that.
Yeah, you're still able to pick up a solid second place position with a very solid points haul. Yeah, worst case scenario for you, probably even out the points with your championship rival of Mark Kissweather, but we'll have to see you going into next week. That could be a wild card. Before we send off on your way, though, any spots to think for tonight's second place run?
First of all, before I get to anyone else, I gotta send my thoughts and prayers, and everyone should, to the Lehman family. I think it's Nathan's grandmother is pretty ill right now, so just keep them in your thoughts and prayers, because they need it right now. And I'd like to thank Lowe's Cobalt Tools, NJB Designs, Mellow Yellow, Coca-Cola Company, Chad and Earl, and I'd like to give a huge shout out to Christian Pacheco because he's awesome.
Have all of us sending our thoughts and prayers to Laymont's family and best wishes for him. Glad he could make it tonight, nonetheless. But once again, congrats on your second place finish, and we'll see you next time next week at Talladega.
Thank you.
So second place finisher of Jonathan Parker will bring in our third place finisher of Giovanni Klein, his teammate going out to win the race. But Giovanni Klein played an early undercut strategy there, taking the 2 tires there late in that early in that stage 3. Able to get the lead, but just lost it with a few laps to go. What do you think he could have done differently there in that final stage, and maybe try and pick up a race win?
Honestly, I think I should have put it a little bit later, but I was like, I'm not gonna beat Parker or my teammate Mark. I had to try something different. I saw Dylan pit past me, and it was like it was time to go pit 2 tires, and I held him off until I didn't, but I was happy to see my teammate win.
Yeah, able to your teammate able to pick up the win. You're still able to pick up a solid third place finish. Now, not really in the championship hunt, but also a very solid finish for you tonight. You're able to gain a good bit of points on your other drivers in the chase, and maybe get extra points positions there, and that definitely will be a big help for you, and maybe a little bit of prize money throughout the championship payout. I'm not sure if there is one or not, but I know but that definitely be a big help for you. And what is that great finish tonight, and able to get a big points gain on some of your other chase drivers tonight going into the next week at Talladega?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, the past 2 weeks have been the worst. I lagged out at New Hampshire road course, and I kind of just screwed the chance for the championship. But right now, I'm just looking for a top 5 because last season I didn't even make the playoffs. So making the playoffs this year was a big win. I'm still trying to chase that top 5 in points.
Still a solid runner for you tonight. Able to pick up a podium position before you send off on your way. Any sponsor anything for tonight's third place run?
Yes, I would love to sponsor my own Cheesy Designs and the Pizza and Wings Gaming.
Once again, congrats on your third place run tonight. We'll see you next race here at Talladega.
Yeah.
So it's the third place finisher of Giovanni Klein, picking up P3 tonight. But overall, a very fast, exciting race tonight. Very quick race tonight, and I mean, we saw a lot of different tire strategies. Tires was definitely a big factor tonight, but what's your final thoughts on tonight's Alan?
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up pretty good. I mean, tire strategy wasn't even the game. I mean, that's how Kissweather went from 8th place all the way to the front, saving tires big time, and got the win here tonight. And he keeps his chances high with the championship, and going into Talladega, that's going to be a really, really big wild card there.
Yeah, next week at Talladega, it can't be a big wild card. Anything can happen. We've seen it happen here on the channel before. We've seen it in the Superstar ARCA Cup at Talladega. We had one of those championship contenders that they're kind of close of, Nathan Johnson. He missed the field, just got unlucky, and that can definitely happen. Now we definitely won't see any missing of the field for anyone in this series, because they're all kind of paid in and chartered in anyways. But that could definitely be a big factor. A bad push gone wrong takes out a true chunk of the field and can take you out of the race. Anything can happen next week at Talladega. This week at Talladega, we got a lot of fun other races coming up here next on the Legendary Racing Network. Tomorrow night we'll have the Bolt Grand National Series. They'll be going to Charlotte for their penultimate race to their regular season finale, and they'll be going to Charlotte 8:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. We'll also have the Stampede Racing League. They'll be going to Auto Club Sunday night here at 9 o'clock Eastern time, and then we'll have a new league coming to Legends Racing Network, the 5 Points Racing League. Xfinity cars at Daytona. They'll be going for their season 1. They'll be going to Daytona for their season opener at 9 o'clock Eastern time Monday night, and we'll have the Bolt Tuesday Night Thunder. They'll be going to National Super Speedway at 8:30 Eastern time on Tuesday night, and we'll also have the Daytona 250 for the Superstar Arc Cup, their season 2 opener at 8:15 Eastern time Wednesday night, and we'll have, well, of course, as we said before, we'll have Talladega for the NAOR Cup Series at 9:15 Eastern time next week. Hope to see you all and all the great viewers there and those next events coming up here on the channel. But it was definitely a fun night here for Bristol. I'm Aaron Brown, and joined alongside my co-commentator and producer of Talon Drake tonight. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network. So long for Bristol.